We're heading towards Irving Street, which is sort of the main commercial drag in the inner Sunset neighborhood south of Golden Gate Park. And we're going to a pop-up, Tai Chi Jianbing, inside of a restaurant called Nabe. What Tai Chi Jianbing specializes in is Jianbing. Jianbing has an exciting origin story. Apparently there's this general during the Three Kingdoms era, General Liang. He and his men were marching. They ran out of woks and they're like, how are we gonna cook? General Liang had a brilliant idea. Heat up the shields, pour the batter on the shields, then put in it and make a little pancake. This very brilliant military tactician was also the culinary father of many delicious Chinese foods. Explain a little bit about the history, about the pop-up and sort of the origin of Nabe.
We just started the late of 2005, and our first pop-up at Osaka Inai. So the owner of the Nabe is really great. They give us a lot of support. Yeah.
Why do you focus on Jianbing?
Because I eat Jianbing a lot when I was young. We got these recipes from the master who's doing this in Beijing for decades. Yeah. So. The first time if you want to try our Jianbing, I highly recommend the original one. So that's the most authentic taste.
Let's eat some Jianbing. Okay, so I'm definitely this original, the Lao Jie Yuan Wei. And then I think also the 多汁烤肉, which is the barbecued pulled pork. And then you said you have a cumin beef special?
Yeah, cumin beef.
So let's try that too.
Okay.
And great. I think 3 is enough. This is sort of the quintessential northern China street food. The best way to describe this, it is like a Chinese crepe. Crack a couple eggs on it, and then you just put all kinds of whatever you want. There are different sauces. Sometimes it's like a hoisin sauce. Oyster sauce, which is like cornstarch with a little bit of oyster essence. Why don't we get going with the old street original Jianbing, Lao Jie Yuan Wei Jianbing. This is prepared with some chili paste, some fermented tofu. There's usually the bao cui, which is like a crispy cracker. I love this, man. This takes me back. A little bit of a little story. I was a very poor student in college. I think my report card spelled fad de, and I got kicked out of school, essentially. I ended up going to China for a year. This was when I was like 19. And I rented a room at a college, and I would walk to work every day where I worked at the Holiday Inn. For breakfast, when I ate on the streets, they had the Jianbing guys. I forget how much it cost, but it was probably like $1.50, I think. This was almost 20 years ago. I'm a very old man. This is a little fancier. This is sort of fancified Jianbing, but it's still, the essence of it is the same. There's a good amount of spice in this, and there's also sort of like that sweet, heady, like bean paste flavor that kind of pervades as that is sort of spread all over. And then of course the crunchy texture of that fried wonton strip, the bao cui. And so that also gives a nice crunch, a nice texture, a nice variant. But yeah, super good. Let's try another flavor of this. Let's try the, this is 多汁烤肉 Jianbing, which is the barbecued pork. It looks like there's just kind of like, for lack of a better term, this is like barbecued pulled pork. There's a big fistful of nice bright purple cabbage in there. This tastes like a traditional pulled pork like you would get in sort of a North Carolina style barbecue. It's that, in Chinese it's a rosong. It's like meat floss is the best way. Redneck spaghetti also. Well, I don't want to offend the rednecks out there. Sorry. It does taste a little Chinese because there still is that sweet bean texture, but there also is what tastes, to me at least, like a ketchup, vinegar, Worcestershire, tomato-based sauce that's mixed in with the Chinese flavors that you would expect, which is sort of more fermented bean, soybean, mung bean, fermented tofu, fermented vegetables. But it's still very good. This is their special. This is the cumin beef. And I gotta say, this looks good. And it looks like there's red peppers and a lot of cilantro, as well as this beef in there. This is great. Cumin is a spice sometimes associated with Indian cuisine in South Asia. It has a presence in a lot of curries, and so it is a very fragrant, very powerful, very heady spice. It pairs well with meat. And cumin can overpower easily, but it doesn't do that here. It serves the Jianbing well. There's also a nice sharp ginger flavor in this as well. So this one has a lot of strong flavors: the cumin, the peppers, the ginger, the big strips of onion, as you can see here. This one is a little more like down to business. I'd like to thank you for joining me for this episode of Dining on a Dime from the Tai Chi Jianbing pop-up inside Nabe restaurant in San Francisco, California. If you'd like to watch more, please click here.